In the inaugural season of the World Combat League, Chuck Norris promised us knockouts and not tap-outs. The Season 2 set to kick off, the rivalries have been established, and the turf wars are ready to begin. Hello and welcome to Turf Wars, the show that takes you inside the World Combat League. I'm host Chad Range, alongside one of the greats in the fight game, head coach Dale Apollo Cook of the Oklahoma Destroyers. Coach Cook, so close last year for the championship.
Last year in the playoffs against Houston, after 12 rounds, it was a dead even match. And then we go into overtime and we lose by 1 point. And man, that's a nasty taste in my mouth. But there's only one place that matters. That's first place. That went to Houston last year. But we're excited about a new season of the World Combat League.
Absolutely, and we're going to be talking about how those things shape up, as well as some changes that have happened within the league. Also, we're going to hear from the man himself, Chuck Norris, on the future of combat martial arts. But first, the past, we're going to talk about the co-MVPs, starting with the Houston Enforcers' own Timmy Connors. Coach, this guy's the real deal.
He is. He's so big for the 147-pound weight class. He's got a big head and a big punch, and it's going to take somebody special to figure out how to beat that guy in the World Combat League.
Absolutely. And speaking of the real deal, this guy's claimed to be shared co-MVP honors. He's Raymond Daniels of the LA Stars, and man, this guy's quickly becoming the face of the WCL.
I think Raymond Daniels is the premier combat martial artist in the world today. The World Combat League is his platform, and he does the most incredible things. He not only wins, he not only scores knockouts, but he uses techniques that only Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan use. Only he uses it for real, makes it work, and scores the knockout.
That is good company to keep. Also good company to keep last year was the Houston Enforcers. They fought all their way to the championship, and nothing worth having ever comes easy. This title was far from easy. We already kind of talked about it against your Oklahoma Destroyers. Talk about what this team did bring to the table, Coach Cook.
They're a very solid team. Coach Jesse Finney is a great coach, and with Kevin Engel and Timmy Connors anchoring his team, they've added some new people this year. They're going to be tough to beat, and we just look forward to a rematch. And I guess if we do rematch them, it'll be for the championship, because they're now in the Eastern Conference as they've moved from Houston to St. Louis.
Absolutely, and it went down to the final fight against the Miami Force to be crowned the champions. And as you said, Coach Cook, they're now in St. Louis, so a lot of this is a homecoming for Tim Connors, for Kevin Engel, and head coach Jesse Finney. A little incentive to defend that title.
It means so much for us to move to St. Louis from being in Houston. When we were in Houston, not a lot of people knew about us. You know, now we're back home in St. Louis. Everybody knows it's the home base. It's in our gym. It's blood, sweat, and tears every day. You know, I got more hands-on where I have my guys, and if my guys don't perform, it becomes upon me. You know, St. Louis is a huge sports community as it is. You know, we've been the number one sports community in the last 2 years in a row. And with the St. Louis Cardinals and the St. Louis Rams and the St. Louis Blues, and you also now have the St. Louis Enforcers. And we're looking forward to really putting that out there this year and representing St. Louis as our home turf.
So obviously a big change there, but that's not the only change that happened within the league. Some other notable changes is this, that there are no more teams from New England and Philadelphia. Both those teams have been dissolved and replaced now by the Denver Fury. They're headed up by head coach Steve Alley. That guy is a local legend in Mile High Country. Speaking of local legends, you have to look no further than Tiger Schulman. He's the man in charge of the New Jersey Tigers. How fitting is that? They are the other new expansion team. Now, a little fighter movement, a high-profile fighter has now found himself a home amongst the stars. Jason Borelli, talk about this guy, Coach. He is one of the exciting fighters in the WCL.
Phenomenal speed, phenomenal timing. He brings a lot of punch to the 164-pound division. The LA Stars were already a tough team led by Raymond Daniels, but now you add Jason Borelli at 164 pounds. They're going to be a tough team to beat, and my team, the Oklahoma Destroyers, gets to test them first.
Absolutely. And this is a deal that has been in the works for quite a while. They know each other, and it should be interesting to see how this pans out.
I've known them the longest, longer than I've known any of the other coaches or any of the other players. So, just talking to them from time to time, kind of talked about the move even prior to last season's ending. And when the season started, I was pretty confident that's the team I wanted to be with if they wanted me. And they didn't really give me a call. I kind of called them and said, hey, is this still an option for me? So we made that happen.
And as you talked about, Coach Cook, the season gets kicked off on February 10th at 7 p.m. right here on Versus. LA Stars taking on your Oklahoma Destroyers. Eastern Conference gets underway just 3 days after St. Valentine's Day. That should be a massacre of a different kind. St. Louis and Miami, of course, that is a rematch of last year's championship. And it's been said that Chuck Norris actually lives in a roundhouse. And I should know because I had a chance to sit down with the founder of the World Combat League, hear what he had to say about year 2 coming right up after this break.